million, I'm still on the grind. 100 million, I'm still on the grind. 100 million, I'm still on the grind. 100 million, I'm still on the grind. Never pedal right, never said a lot. Only what need to be said.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Suave the Model, back with another interview. Today we're here with
Montaz, McCray, local DMV entrepreneur.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about your journey, how you've had so much success, both in the real estate and outside of the real estate. So let's talk a little bit about your journey, man. Let's talk about what got you into real estate, what made you choose this career field. Because like we all know, it's no guaranteed money in the real estate industry. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be months when you have it, months when you don't, and what made you choose to take that risk?
Wow. So that's a great question. What made me choose to take this risk? I went to Atlanta one time, and I was just staying with one of my friends. We were, and he was telling me about all the awesome things that he was doing through real estate, as far as how he was able to impact lives and also, provide for his family. Mm-hmm. So, as I thought further about it, and I don't know, some people watch Netflix and they watch Selling Sunset, all these real estate shows. I'm like, okay, I think I can do that. And, so I dove in head first. I studied like nonstop for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Took another 2 weeks, got my DC license, and it was off to the races from there.
So you got your license for DC while you was in Georgia? No.
Okay. So I was visiting my friend in Atlanta.
Okay.
And I started. I had got started because that was because I graduated college in November. Mm-hmm. I graduated in November. So probably that whole November, November, I grinded out the first 3 weeks and made sure I got my Maryland license. While I was in school, I didn't care because I knew I just had to make it work.
It worked, man. It worked very well for you. That's crazy, man. To hear how short of a gap it was, because I know you said you got licensed in December of that year, right? Of 2020.
So that December was my first official, I'm doing real estate, and I'm going hard.
Okay.
So I got licensed probably the third week in November, but that fourth week.
Gotcha.
Up together, it's still COVID. I'm game planning. How am I going to make my mark on this real estate industry?
Right.
How am I, just make this announcement and be the best that I can be?
Right. So did you take a college course, or did you do the real estate course that they have at certain brokerages and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I did the online CE shop because it was already kind of too late for me to do because I graduated in November. That was my last semester.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did the online CE shop while I was finishing up some other college classes. But I was already at the end, at the final stretch with my college.
Yeah.
I was okay, I can just add. I had the capacity to add something else to my workload.
Right. So would you say that that studying for that course, was it extremely difficult, or was it kind of like once you got it, and that's just what it is?
Yeah, it is. It's not easy, but it's not super hard. Being as though I was in college and I'm used to studying and putting the extra hours in, it didn't really faze me. So Maryland, I passed the first time. DC, I failed the first time. Mm-hmm. And I failed tests.
Right.
I don't fail. So I'm like, what in the world? So, but then I went back 2 days later. I passed it.
Okay.
But it was a traumatic experience because I don't fail.
And that's crazy, because I've done a real estate class. I did it one time, and I did it in Maryland. I passed the class, but I failed the state and national exam. So, and it wasn't necessarily hard. I think it was really nerves, you know what I mean? Because you're thinking of it I know this answer. I'm just I'm sweating and it's hot. There's people in the room, and you're just thinking what number are they on? Or are they doing the same thing? It's very nerve wracking to do. But I'm actually going to pursue that, the same real estate career. I'm doing mine in New Jersey next go around. But because I have the prior knowledge as far as the terminology goes, I feel like I'll be very confident when I do take the test again out here. So my next question is going to be, what were some of the biggest benefits of doing real estate and beginning in the field? And did you have a mentor at all?
Oh, yeah. So, like, during the whole time that I was getting licensed, during that first 3... All right, so I'll take it even further. So, as soon as I came back from Atlanta, because you play college basketball, so
right.
I'm all worship and having coaches, I was like, I need to find somebody who's successful in this. So, I reached out to somebody. They were doing about like 20 million in sales a year.
Sheesh.
So, yeah. So I reached out to them, built a relationship with them, and so the whole day I was doing my work to get licensed, I was calling them like, "Hey, what's going on in your business?
Right.
Like, how's XYZ client? How's this client? What did you have to do with this client to work over that issue?" So I'm learning like the whole time while I'm getting licensed. I'm learning like how to deal with certain issues, how to deliver on a high level, and how to service your clients. So
right.
that really helped me. Because when I got licensed, I was able, I already was privy to a lot of information, real world experience that a lot of agents, don't learn until probably about 3, maybe like 6 months in,
right.
6 or a year in, because
right.
I was getting awesome information. But so yeah, to answer your question, I did have a mentor, and anybody getting in this business to get a mentor, even if you have to pay,
right.
Because you're paying for that, you're paying for the experiences that person has already went through, that they're going to teach you so you can avoid those pitfalls. So, I mean, that guy has gave me a crazy amount of knowledge. I couldn't even put a price tag on it, but it's definitely helped me, spark my career in a sense.
Right. So what would you say have been your top 3 biggest investments after getting your license? Like, what were the top 3 investments that you had to make that you feel like were like very impactful on your success that you're having right now?
Right. So, I mean, this is a non-negotiable, but them fees are no joke. They come yearly, and I mean, I probably spent about $5,000 to jumpstart my career between all the board fees and Bright MLS, marketing, because you can't just pop out there and with a selfie.
Right.
If you got to get professional photos, you have to buy an outfit.
Right.
You have, if you want to build a big business and set your business up in the right way, you have to do certain things. So
right.
you have be serious, and you have to present yourself as a business professional.
Right. Yeah, I think like you said, man, I think it's very, very important to know the difference between being social media popping and being real life popping. And I think that's like a big difference. Like a lot of millionaires, billionaires that are famous, you know what I mean? When you see them on a regular basis, like outside of their, performance or their job, they're dressed casual, and you would not be able to know if you didn't know who they were personally through whatever famous thing they do. You would not know that they're rich like that. You know what I mean? And I think that's like one of the things that sticks with me. Like, I like to keep it simple. If I'm dressed up, a black shirt, dress pants, and some shoes, and I'm good. You know what I mean? I might change up the shoes a little bit, might mix and match the pants, but it's always just professional and simple, because like you said, you never know you're running into. You might meet a client or something like that. So my next question is, are you an what's it called? Independent. Are you an independent agent, or are you with the brokerage at the moment?
So I am with a brokerage, and I think kind of what you mean, like a solo agent, or if I'm on a team.
Right.
So I'm a solo agent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a fan show right now.
Right.
And I'm looking to continuously build my business that way. I mean, for the time being, unless I'm approached and I get this awesome, amazing opportunity to join the team, and I mean, it has to be amazing.
Right.
I mean, I know that probably the tutelage or whoever I'm under,
right,
would be nice, just to have a second source. But right now I'm focused on being the best solo agent I can, so eventually I can turn into a mega agent. That's my goal.
So I know you just said you want to turn into a mega agent. What's the difference between a mega agent and a brokerage? Do you like owning a brokerage? Because I know some agents, after they're done, being a real estate agent, they turn into a brokerage and they kind of make their residual income that way. Do you feel like there's a huge difference between being a brokerage or being a super agent, or what do you feel like,
So I know some agents, they'll turn into a broker where, they might not own a brokerage, but as a broker, essentially they'll be supervising the other agents.
Right.
At that point, they would take themselves out of production. 9 times out of 10, they would take themselves out of production and just monitor the brokerage.
Right.
There are brokers who will go and start their own real estate company.
Right.
And they recruit agents under them. They may or may not be in production, but that's an option too. And then you just have you have mega agents who will build teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to speak to what you just said, you talked about residual income. Yes, you could recruit agents under you by building a team as well, but
right.
you don't have to have your broker's license to build your team.
Right. Okay. And I know you were talking about how important it is to find a mentor and things like that. Would you say that being an individual that doesn't necessarily have a brokerage license, do you feel like what they would be doing in that sense is being a mentor to the team, I guess, to make that residual income and everything like that?
As far as you said, so say if somebody has a broker's license, then and I mean, because all right, so in order to be a broker in the state of Maryland, I feel as though you have to have 3 years of experience as a real estate agent.
Yeah.
I think it may be 2.
I think it's 2 last time I checked, but yeah.
Yeah. So in a sense, yes, because being a broker, you should be more knowledgeable because you had to study an additional 150 hours or around 150 hours of coursework. So you should be more knowledgeable, about the rules and regulations, and then you should have experienced a certain amount of things to where you're able to guide people on certain subjects. But there are some mega agents that are more knowledgeable than brokers in a sense, because at the end of the day, it's all about experience.
Right.
When people are looking for mentors and things of that nature and people to guide them, they want to see numbers. They want to see proof. They want to see that you've done it before. And I mean, that's what I look for in my mentors too, because I that's just important to me. Like, if I want to learn how to do 25 mil in sales a year, I'm not going to go to somebody who's only done 2 mil for a year. I mean, I don't think that would be wise, even though you can learn from everybody.
Right.
And take that wholeheartedly. You can learn literally from everybody, even from their mistakes.
So I feel like a lot of people make the mistake of just expecting to make 10 million, 20 million right off the rip of doing real estate, and that's really not how it goes. Like I said, when I took the class, I met a lot of people, and 2 or 3 of the people that I took the class with, they're doing real estate, and they were telling me the same thing. Like, a lot of people, when they get their license, you do make money, but a lot of people might be a little dramatic about the amount of income they get, because I know when you sign with a brokerage, they get a percentage of your sales. And then a percentage of that gets broken down, and you got to pay your own taxes and stuff like that. So I know, you could make a sale of maybe, 100,000, but of that 100,000, you might only make maybe 20,000. And I think that a lot of people, get confused about that. I mean, it could be more or less than 20,000. I'm just pitching a number, but you do get a percentage of the sale, and then the brokers get a percentage of the sale to keep you, because you have to be under a brokerage, right, to make a sale.
Yeah, you have to be under a brokerage, and those numbers, I don't know nobody who sold $100,000 house and made $20,000. But if that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Right.
But one thing I would say, I feel like a lot of people get into real estate for the wrong reasons, because they see, you can make a lot of money. Right. But like, I got into the industry to impact lives and really educate people. And one, I want to be a savant at real estate, right, and be able to properly advise people, but just put people in the best position to win. Like, it's not just selling a house, right? Putting that person in contact with the best mortgage lender who's going to give them the best rate for their particular situation, because that could be the difference between them paying an extra $200 a month on their mortgage, or versus saving $100 a month on their mortgage. Setting people being an order taker. Okay, this is your situation. This is what you're going through. Oh, you're a doctor. We can get you in a special loan program. Right. You work for John Hopkins. We're going to take advantage of, this John Hopkins program, where so they're giving a $10,000 credit if you buy in this particular area. So it's stuff like that, and really taking the money, the monetary gain part out of it, right, and looking at what you can do for people and how you can impact lives. And I think that's how you build a long career in real estate. So did getting into real estate, did it kind of increase your temptation to buy a house, or did it decrease your urge to buy a house? Because I know, looking at the amount that you really paying for and what you're getting for it, you know what I mean? Like, knowing what you know about the real estate industry, does it make you want to go and buy a house even more? Or does it kind of make you tempted, these people, the game is kind of funny to me? Yeah, so it's actually funny that you say that. Right now, I actually am under contract on a house. I'm set to close some middle of next month, right? But yes, it did make me want to buy a house in a sense, because I'm I'm looking at, I want to build equity, in a property and things of that nature. But yeah, it did kind of increase my temptation to buy a house. But right now, it is a great time to buy a house because I'm getting a 2.65 interest rate on my house. Like a couple, I know people who are still paying a 4% interest rate. Right. One of my mentors, one of my mortgage lender mentors that I met with, he said in 2001 when he bought a house, his interest rate was 6%. And he said that was good, Right. So it's essentially it's free money right now. So it's a great time. That's why the market, if you haven't been actively keeping up with the market right now, it's very competitive because the interest rates are low. So people have more buying power. So if you could afford a 350 house, a year or 2 years ago, now you could afford a 450 house because the interest rates are low and you have more buying power now. Right.
So how do you create consistency? Because I know earlier you were talking about how the income is inconsistent a little bit, maybe in the early stages and maybe even now sometimes. So how do you create that consistency, whether it be with, the clientele that you're building, whether it be with your mentors that you're talking to? How do you prepare yourself for those rise and falls of even, the economy sometimes, you know what I mean? Because if people don't have money, they can't spend it. So how do you prepare yourself for those moments?
So the number one thing is, real estate is really a numbers game. Right. And you do the activities every single day. You have to be working, doing something every single day. And then saving as well. And then people think real estate agents make this insurmountable amount of money. However, like you said, you have to pay splits, you have to pay taxes. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. Right. Behind the glam of selling XYZ kind of this realtor just sold, or did 20 million in sales. But I know real estate agents, who are on 50-50 splits, with their brokerage and things of that nature. So, yes, it's a lucrative industry, but it's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. And then plus the fees too. I told you I paid about $5,000 when I got started, and I didn't make a red cent until my third month. Right. My mid-third month in the industry. So, when you get started in real estate, you really have to have the capacity to, right, to withstand the ride, because it's not guaranteed, and that's the scary part. And that's what I go through now. it's a people business, and sometimes people wake up on the right side of the bed, and sometimes they don't, and some people are more I guess ambiguous than others, or I don't know, their mind changes really fast. They might be gung-ho about buying a house on Monday, and then on Wednesday they under contract on something, they realize they can't buy a house no more, or it'd be a death,
right?
Family that shifts everything,
right?
That's in this life,
right?
The stuff that you have to deal with. So I mean, it's a very ambiguous industry.
So what would you say is the percentage of completed sales versus incomplete sales? What would you say like the average is based on who you've talked to and even yourself? Like, what would you say is the percentage that actually closes, and then what's the percentages that don't close? Like the ratio, I guess.
And that's really subjective to the person, because everybody's clientele is different, right? Clientele may be, middle class individuals who are dealing with those everyday life challenges that may influence the purchase significantly, and sometimes factors come out of nowhere that can influence the purchase.
Right.
And you have who have high-end clientele who can lose their job tomorrow, and they still have cash to purchase the house or do whatever they want to do. But it's just so many different factors, so I can't
give a solid answer on that. I got you.
Can't give a solid answer just because everybody's clientele is different. But
Okay.
It's not strength in numbers though. So if you put yourself out there, hopefully you'll hit.
So where would you say you're investing your money currently? Because like I said, you've been in the game for a few months. You've learned a lot of things from your mentor, and things like that. So what would you say like you're investing your money into right now that is still contributing factors in your sales and in your clientele and everything like that?
So marketing dollars. I love to give my clients well. I mean, I'm a big giver. My father is a big giver, so I love doing nice things for my client when we reach closing day, especially because it's such a journey. Buying a house is so many different. It's a whole journey.
Right.
But definitely marketing, Instagram, social media. Definitely doing photo shoots. And as far as me, my sister. Shout out to Jade Duncan. I'll share her information as well, aka the Crypto Queen. She is phenomenal. She's big on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. She advises me like, hey, you can put some money in here. And one time she told me to put my money in something called Safe Moon, and I kind of like 10x my money. The little bit that.
Right.
But I'm very conservative with my investments, but the little bit of money I did put in there, I did that stock market. Of course, you got to put a lot of money to the side for taxes, because that taxes are real.
Definitely, anything you do, they will find out. Anything.
Yeah, taxes are real, and then again, I'm buying a home, so I got a certain lot of.
So how did you create, or how did you earn the money that it took to invest into your real estate career? How did you earn that? Because leading up to doing real estate, I'm sure it cost you some money. So where did you find that money, or were you working, or?
Yeah, so when I was in college, and I don't know how I did this, but I was thinking about credits, and I was serving tables. And when I was cleaning up serving, when I was serving tables. So I just got used to a certain amount of, I was serving tables in college. So I would go to class from maybe 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 11 every day in college. And then I would be I used to work at Expectation. I would be there from 12 to 7. And then I would come home and do my homework. And then I would do it again. And I was doing that every day. And then I would do it on Friday and Saturday. I would work doubles, 10 to 10 a.m. Well, no, maybe like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. because, you know, it's a brunch spot.
Right.
And just doing my thing, but I just got used to, like, you know, getting it. So I was like, it made it hard for me to stop working. But I think I still got like a 3.5 GPA that semester. So I made it work, but I just had to get both. I
was ready to say, it's people that don't work and barely get a 2.8. So to have a 3.5, that's amazing. And I was just ready to ask you, like, you know, what was your GPA pretty high, you know, considering the route that you took and what you did? What did you go to college for, if you don't mind me asking? What was your degree?
Yeah. So I went to college for, I was a business management major.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, I love college. I learned so much. And as far as, like, the business and the marketing classes, I think that helped me a lot now with my business as far as really getting into the consumer's mind. And then being a millennial also, and just knowing what people want to see, how to attract people to your brand.
Right.
Still being very, very careful. You know, knowing I live in Baltimore and the DMV, you still have to be, you know, careful with the content that you put out there. And my image is more so, I want my content to be sharp, never flat, but sharp. You know, a sharp, showing a young man who has a keen business acumen, right? It's very, just moves. I don't know. I just move very smart, and you know.
I was ready to say you definitely seem like a very wise person, a wise man, and you move very humbly. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like you said, you know, make the money and they just like, yeah, we out here. But you're more so, you know, I can tell that, you know, you're very smart with your money. I don't see, you know, at least you don't show if you do, you know, spend your money on stupid stuff. So then you just said you just bought a house or you're trying to buy a house. So I think, you know, the fact that you're doing that just shows how wise you are with your money and your investments. So I respect that, man. And I'm happy for you. I'm very excited for you. And I hope it goes.
I don't got much money, so I got to manage the little bit I got.
I was ready to say, I know some people who don't have, you know, millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, but because they invest their money wisely, they're able to afford that. You know what I mean? So because it's people that work at the damn, you know, Rite Aid or Walgreens, and they're able to buy a house. So it's not a matter of having big money. It's a matter of being wise with your money, how you spend your money. And like you said, you know, you're investing your money into certain areas, different areas of work to help build your brand. So it might not be a lot of money now. It could be a lot of money later. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. That's a whole nother thing. So what are some future goals that you plan to achieve down the road? Because I'm sure you have to write out some goals that you want to achieve and stuff like that.
Yeah. So sooner than later, one of my goals is to do 10 million in sales in real estate for the year.
Right.
I gotta start there.
Is that before or after you split your money with the brokerage?
Well, you have to split your money with the brokerage regardless.
Yeah.
10 million in sales, I'm not getting 10 mil.
Right.
That's in sales. Like, so if I sell a 1.5 mil house, that goes to my sales value for the year. You know.
Right.
And I'm at 3 mil for the year. So, you know, I'm not making 10 mil.
Yeah. Right.
No, just that would go to my sales. So I want to do 10 million in sales value for 1 year.
Got you.
That's one of my goals. And really just continuing to impact lives and put people on pedestals to come up with me, right? Like, because like I have a videographer, you know, that I pay when I do my closings with my clients. I have home inspectors that I'm consistently giving business to. I have lenders that I'm consistently giving business to. I have stagers. I have even people who do the pictures for my listings and things of that nature. So it's not just about me. It's about bringing other people up with me.
Definitely.
You know, in order for me to come up, I need those things. How can I be the best? I can't be a great real estate agent, or my goal can't be to be a great real estate agent and have to focus on trying to take pictures for my listings too, or focus on being a home inspector. I have to leverage that stuff out. So it's inevitable for somebody to, you know, come up or try to go to the next level and not have to bring people with them. So my main goal is I want to impact as many lives as I can. And, you know, just bring as many people as I can up with me. That's my main goal, more so than any amount of money I can make. Real bosses shift other people's lives.
Right.
They change the trajectory of other people's lives.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna ask you maybe 2 or 3 more questions. Just, I don't want to take up your whole morning. I'm sure you got some business you're trying to handle. It's holiday weekend. So what advice could you give to anyone that's considering to get into this industry, or maybe already in the industry, just looking for some advice to help them get to that, next level, whatever that may be for them?
Find a mentor. Find a mentor. Find a mentor. Also, I can't say my brokerage name,
right.
But you're looking for an awesome brokerage, contact me, and I'll definitely set you up. I love my brokerage. It has set me up for so much success. I've learned so much, and I just feel like I've got so much. I've got a lot of information that I probably would have not got elsewhere, and the support that I've received is unimaginable. Somebody's looking for a great foundation, a solid foundation to start their real estate career, definitely contact me. And so my email is mmontaz10@gmail.com. But that's the number one thing. Find a mentor, get with the awesome brokerage that's going to prep you, not just to do one sale, but to show you how to build a business, right? Because you don't want to be a transactional realtor,
right,
whereas the customer just sent you just trying to make a quick sale and make a quick buck off of them. You want you want to be a relationship realtor, whereas though you can service the whole family because they know that you really cared about them, and that's how I operate my business. Because when you really care and you really do the right thing, you don't have to do too much because people can sense it.
Right. Yeah, and I know a lot of people, say that it's very important on what brokerage you choose because, you could sign a contract that maybe you earn more money, but you're not earning money to get more of. You know what I mean? So that split could be different depending on what brokerage you're going to. That contract could be different depending on what brokerage you're going to. The agreements could be different. They might pay for this, but they don't pay for that. When you go to another brokerage, they pay for this, but they don't pay for that. You know what I mean? So you got to be very wise in your decisions. And I feel like it's very important to go to multiple brokerage names and brokerage people before you just choose one. I feel like maybe go to at least 3. But I've learned that from mentors that I have and things like that. So my last question is going to be, what would you have done differently if you had the opportunity to speak to the younger version of you, the rookie you, the one when your first 3 months when you weren't making money? What would you have told yourself during that time? What would you have done differently?
No, that's a great question. But I would have told myself, don't worry. Because what I mean, I work extremely hard. I do a lot of things that people aren't willing to do. Nowadays, I answer my phone at 11 p.m. for my clients. I answer my phone at 6 a.m. for my clients. I answer my phone anytime my clients call me. It don't matter. It doesn't matter the time. But I would just tell myself, don't worry, and just stay persistent, and just keep learning and keep working hard. Right. What I would have told myself, but I'm really just getting started. So I'm still telling myself that now.
Right.
Ask me that question because I'm still telling myself that now because I am just getting started. But I'm super excited. I know God has a lot in store for me, and I just pray over all my business, and that's that. But continuously getting mentors and finding people who have done it before, for the newer agents, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
It's people who are already killing it.
Right.
Find those people, pay those people whatever fee they may have for whatever class or course or private session. Pay the fee. Because again, you're paying for their experiences. You're paying for them to tell you their mistakes. So you don't pay. So you don't have to. So when as you're going throughout your career, you don't have to pay again because some mistakes are big mistakes. Some mistakes are $5,000 mistakes, $10,000 mistakes.
Definitely.
Because you can get fined pretty heavy in real estate. So yes, find a mentor and pay them to tell you their mistakes, so you don't have to pay.
Right. And I just thought of one last question. I want to know. You seem like a very uplifting, positive person. So what is one quote that you would say you live by and that has really kept you on board where you need to be? What is a major quote that you like?
Wow.
Or that you live by? Yeah.
All right. So I like this one. Just humble enough to know I'm better than none, but I'm different from the rest.
So just humble enough to know I'm wiser than none.
Humble enough to know I'm better than none.
Oh, humble enough to know I'm better than none.
But wise enough to know I'm different from the rest.
But wise enough to know I'm different from the rest. That is... I never heard that quote. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never heard that quote, and that's crazy because the quote that I live by is, treat people how you want to be treated, and I feel like that's very important. And then another one is Confucius. He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. Just believing in yourself. So that quote right there, that's a different quote. I like that quote a lot. But I like I said again, man, I appreciate you so much for taking your time out and doing this interview with me. I really, really hope that we can work down the future. Like I said, I'm about to get my license and everything like that. I know you said that you wouldn't mind mentoring me and giving me some advice down the road. So I appreciate that. And it's a lot of people that have contacted me when I said I was interviewing you that said that they're looking forward to this interview. So yeah, I was surprised too, because I'm like, you know him? They're like, I don't know him, but I follow him, so I know a little bit about him. So I'm like, okay, cool, and so obviously you're handling the marketing thing very well. I already told you who gave me some knowledge about you and how your journey was a little bit based on what they know. So I appreciate that, man, and definitely hope to maybe do an interview with you in another year. And do an updated version and see how if you reached your goals and see what was the biggest challenge, because I know COVID is killing people right now, but we're bouncing back from that, and I hope that you have the greatest success. So thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Have a great day. Be blessed, and we'll talk again soon, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, no problem, man. You be safe.
The moves that I made, the people I fed, the evil I ducked. They minds is too feeble, they lean on their crutch. I'm bleeding from fighting my demons head up. When I get defeated, believe I get up.